Hey, welcome back to the channel, and I always keep my promises. I told everyone that if I had the opportunity, I was going to review this. It is the Transformers Platinum Edition Planet of Junk Clash set, and we're going to take a closer look at the guys inside in a few minutes. That being Hot Rod, Junkheap, and Wreck-Gar. Let's see how they stack up. I recently reviewed the Hot Rod figure and the mold used for Junkheap and Wreck-Gar. Let's see if Platinum is truly Platinum. Okay, welcome back to the channel. This is Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please check me out on social media. Check out the Everything Factor. Check out Machinery of Man. Nothing new there. Yeah, so I wasn't sure if I was going to get to review this or not. I consider myself pretty lucky that I get to. We'll see how it stacks up with the earlier versions of the mold that I've recently looked at. By the way, you've probably noticed in a few of my videos this black spot on the top of my thumb, and you've been saying, hey, that guy's dirty, why don't he wash his hands? I'm going to explain something here now. If you go back a few videos, you will see that I explained how to transform Bone Crusher's hips. And when I explained about transforming his hips, I said that you had to push at a 45-degree angle. In doing that, I popped a blood vessel in the top of my thumb, and if you look at the date that thing went up, I am still recovering from it. The dangers of being a Transformers collector right there, folks. Anyway, on to the task at hand. This set right here. Where will we begin? We'll take a look at the box. I don't normally do a lot of look at the boxes, mostly because the ones that I've done thus far, I really haven't kept the boxes for. But this is beautiful art on the box. As we go along, you can see Junkheap. I guess it's Junkheap riding Wreck-Gar. Is it Junkheap riding Wreck-Gar, or is it Wreck-Gar riding Junkheap? No, it's Wreck-Gar riding Junkheap. And of course, Hot Rod over here. The thing that people have criticized is that it's not actually a scene from the movie. I really don't care. It's a beautiful piece of artwork. The colors are great. It pops on the shelf. It looks good. And of course, you have the sticker down here commemorating it for the 30th anniversary of the movie. And you have the Autobot logo on the side. And you have on this side, celebrate the 30th anniversary of Transformers the movie, blah blah blah, with the Platinum Edition set. If you wish to read it, I mean, you can always pause it and read it, I guess. And on the back, we have the product shots. And again, they look good. They look good. Inside the flap with the little Velcro tabs. The figure's all in robot mode. And this was the reason that I showed Wreck-Gar's transformation from robot to motorcycle in everything that I looked at. That guy was done from motorcycle to robot. And if you're going to get this set, you're going to be starting on robot mode, and they can be a little bit tricky. So we're going to, I guess, crack this open and see what is inside. Packaged nicely. And when we remove the box, we have a clamshell version inside the box, and if we take out the figures of Junkheap and of Hot Rod and of Wreck-Gar, you can see that in behind, I'll even take out the plastic clamshell. If you look in behind, you can see all of the tech spec detail, which is nice. It's, I mean, it's certainly not necessary, but it's a nice feature to have. All the same. And we can lay that aside, and here we go. Hot Rod, right there. Let's stand him up. Assuming, there we go. And we have Junkheap, and finally Wreck-Gar over here, and they look good. The paint apps look nice. I gotta say, I think that they've done a nice job with these. These guys painted the same, different head sculpts, but again, I think they both own the paint schemes, and there are a couple of slight differences on them. They're largely the same, but a couple of slight differences. We'll get into that in a little bit. For now, I'm going to lay these guys aside. You may have just heard my phone ring, so sorry about the pause, folks. Before I get into Hot Rod, I was about to say, this is the instruction sheet, and truthfully, the pictures are, you know, quite large on it. It's you know, easy for Hot Rod on this side. He's not a hard transformation. Nice instruction sheet. It'd be nice if the pictures were colored. They're not. What can you do? Such is life. On to this guy. Again, it's a Platinum Edition, so we're looking at some premium paint apps. We will start out with him and with this version of the mold that I reviewed recently. When I done this guy, I said that he was a 6.5. Let's see if this guy is the same or higher or less or what. Keep in mind that I have done some custom paint work on this guy, adding the orange to differentiate it more from the yellow. There was a differentiation before. It wasn't real clear. So, to be fair, I should point out that the yellow on the thighs here was very similar to the yellow on the thighs that was originally here. And as far as the chest goes, the orange that was on the chest was so pale it was really almost a yellow unto itself, and the yellow flame was an even brighter yellow, so it just really didn't contrast very well. In looking at their guns first, and we'll take his out and his out. You know, I mean, they're similar. The one on bottom is the one from the older mold. The one on top is the one from the Platinum Edition mold. I think the gun from the Platinum Edition mold is a little bit better. It has the translucent flame piece, which, you know, it looks nicer if you're into the flame piece. I kind of like the black look of the gun as compared to the gray look of the gun. I'm not a big gun guy, so it kind of doesn't matter to me in the long run. I can say this, and I don't think it's going to come across on camera. The paint on the chest of this guy is a metallic, shiny type of red. It's a really nice red. And the shins are a very bright silver. The head sculpt has great paint. There's a close-up of the head sculpt. I mean, it looks... I would say that for a Hasbro release, this is one of the best head sculpts that this mold has seen. I thought that this one was a great head sculpt. I think the Platinum Edition wins on that count, to be honest with you. I don't dig the black used for the hands and the feet as much as the gray that was used for the hands and the feet, just because the gray is a little more cartoon accurate. On the back, is there anything, you know, really worth talking about different on the back? Well, no, not so much. Other than the fact that this guy, the Platinum Edition set, has the translucent plastic windows. If you like that, hey, cool. Rather than the all spark blue windows. But besides that, no big differences back there. On the front, the detailing up on the shoulders is nicer on the Platinum Edition set than the detailing on this guy's shoulders. It's just kind of a plain gray as compared to a silver and a black. Transformation, of course, is going to be exactly the same, which means you're going to have the same issues, I guess, that you would have had before. Also, I should point out that the silver on the hubcaps is a nice, bright, vibrant silver. Again, just gray on the original. So in terms of paint apps, I'm actually going to give this guy 7.5. I gave this guy 6.5. I'm going to give this guy 7.5. Is it perfect? No, because you still have the flame on a red chest. Again, not quite right. The thighs being yellow, they should be orange. So you do have a few imperfections, but overall, he looks, in hand, in person, he looks really nice. Transformation, I'm just going to do super quick on both of these guys. I'm not really going to explain it because I've already done that, and there's no real reason to explain it again. Just so we can compare them in vehicle mode. Push that back, this in on the side, and the feet flip up just the same. And this in on the side, and these pieces flip out. I can say this: the tolerances on the Platinum Edition set are really fantastic. He's a really tight version of this figure, and I like that. He feels very stable, sturdy, secure in the hand, and that's also very nice. Not something I really didn't expect. I kind of figured that he would be, that he would be good when it came to tolerances, but nice to have that confirmed. And we bring the back piece down and in. And this is the car mode. He looks good. I had been concerned about the translucent plastic showing robot bits inside, but you have a steering wheel. You probably can't see it, but you have a steering wheel. You have the seats. Actually, it looks really nice. The metallic red used on the hood is the metallic red that's also used on the top of the car and coming down here between the windows. And he looks really sleek because of it. I love the orange on the headlights. I think it's a great orange to use. I love the look of the engine block in the center. And he still, he still rolls like a champion. If I was to, change this guy around. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it, but it was out. He does have the saw bit like this guy has, and I had hoped that all along, and nice to see that it came to pass. I'm very happy about that. And we can fold those up, and we can fold these back to get there. And we fold up the chest, fold in the arm, fold in the arm. And fold up, and fold up, and push in the tires. And here you go, both of them in vehicle mode. The black on the tires and the silver on the hubcaps of the Platinum Edition version is definitely richer and nicer. You compare the translucent plastic to the Allspark blue, and I changed my vote. The translucent plastic is nice because it lets you see the seats and the steering wheel inside that you don't see with this guy. The engine block is better on the Platinum Edition set. He actually has an Autobot symbol instead of the rub sign. On the back, the older version does have red on the tail lights. This guy does not have the red on the tail lights, a missed paint app there. But overall, the color on the Platinum Edition set is indeed richer. It is a premium paint job, there's no doubt about it. So, transformation is still great for this guy. And the fact that he rolls is still great. There is no addition of articulation. He still doesn't have a bicep swivel. His arms still will only go out only a little bit. But posability, playability, this guy is still about a 7.5. Transformation is, like a 9. If in the end, if the older version of Hot Rod was a 6.5, the new version of Hot Rod from the Platinum Edition set, I would say he's about an 8. I would say he's about an 8, and you have the same, ability to lock this under the vehicle mode. There's a hole right there, and the handle of the gun goes in same way with the flame coming out of the back, just like the older version, like this, with the flame coming out of the back. And of course, the translucent flame looks nicer. So yeah. Score 1 for the Platinum Edition. Same mold, same limits, same, if you want to see the transformation and whatnot in depth, go back and look at the Hot Rod video. But which one should you get? Hard to say. If you like the premium paint job and the translucent windows, which I now like, honestly, I would be tempted to go with the Platinum Edition set. It's nice. It's a nice version of the mold. So we will take these guys and whoop, we will move them aside. And we will move on to this guy Wreck-Gar. This is the Reveal the Shield version of Wreck-Gar. The one that I reviewed a few days ago. And he was great. I gave him an excellent rating. I thought he was a fantastic figure, and so he is. And just out of interest's sake now, here is the Platinum Edition Wreck-Gar. And you know what? Since I'm kind of seeing triple, here's Junkheap. I might as well bring all three of them in because they're using the same mold, same engineering. We'll deal with Junkheap here first, just because he is a guy who has the different head sculpt. And, you know, it's a nondescript head sculpt, really. I mean, you're not going to mistake that it's a Junkion. It's a nondescript head sculpt, and it is what it is. And down here, you know, you have black paint, you have nice flame deco on the leg, you have the orange plastic here. Is it orange? Yeah, orange translucent plastic here and in the front. You have the flame deco on the chest and the brown on the chest, brown forearms and yellow, brown biceps and yellow forearms and brown fists. A lot of earth tones on this guy, but it looks good. He owns it and he rocks it and looks good. Same articulation as the other two molds. You know, shoulders go out about yay far. They can go around 360, which is great even with the kibble and junk on his shoulder. There is bicep swivel. There is a nice deep elbow bend. Wrist swivel. If we move the two Wreck-Gars aside for a moment, the hips, you know, they'll go. He'll do splits. He can do the splits with the best of them. Him and Prowl can take the world by storm in gymnastics. And just like I said with Wreck-Gar, he can do the splits in this direction as well. Again, this leg, even when straight, isn't quite straight, but it really doesn't hinder him. You again have the, you know, tilt in the foot, and his foot tilt forward and backward and left and right is really stiff. Nice tolerance there. Over here again, limited, but it's there. Nice tolerance again. You know, knees give you a nice deep bend on this side, and a nice deep bend on this side all the way up, and you know, again, looks great. Soft plastic used on the handlebars again, so be careful about that. I would not move these manually. They kind of automorph when you move this section, and they do have nubs to peg in. I would probably avoid pegging them in because they are not fun to get out, and I've heard tell of people breaking them. Same weapon as Wreck-Gar, holds it in his hand, and this bladed thing that when you close it up will become his hubcap. Either way, it looks good. I don't know. Here, leave it closed on him and open it up on Wreck-Gar just to make the weapons look different. Why not? So we'll just lay Junkheap aside for a few minutes, and we will bring in the Platinum Edition Wreck-Gar. I like this guy. I love the yellow used on the face in the head sculpt. Still a very Wreck-Gar head sculpt. I don't really like the yellow up top. That should be red to be cartoon accurate. But, you know, again, how cartoon accurate is this guy? I already spoke about that. I did say that it was a different chest deco and the Platinum Edition set, and so it is. The flame deco is different. I love the paint used on the forearms of this guy. It is so shiny. It's a brownie color, but it's so shiny and metallic as compared to the, I don't know, peach? What color is that? Peach? We'll call it peach. That's used on this guy. I don't really dig the peach. I prefer the yellow down around his light as compared to that ugly peach color again. I love the orange translucent plastic up here instead of the clear. The orange translucent plastic in the head. It's not quite as cartoon accurate as the clear translucent plastic, but I like the look of it better. It falls in the aesthetic of the figure better. The gray is also a darker gray that's used rather than the lighter gray used on the Reveal the Shield mold. I mean, if you look at the weapons, you can see the difference in gray hue right there. Again, you have the soft rubbery plastic on the handlebars, and his articulation is exactly the same as Junkheap's articulation. I didn't point it out in the Wreck-Gar video, but I'll point it out here as it was just pointed out to me by by the guy who is allowing me to do this review. Right here there are 2 slots in the leg. These 2 slots in the leg, which is actually the seat of the motorcycle mode, are built for these 2 pegs down here, so that, for example, Wreck-Gar can ride on Junkheap, or Junkheap can ride on Wreck-Gar, which is great because these guys aren't supposed to be small motorcycles. They're supposed to be large enough for other Transformers to ride. Transformation, exactly the same. If we take that out again, it just folds up the exact same way as the other one, right? It folds up exact same way as the other one. And again, if you want to see the full transformation in detail, why don't you check out the Wreck-Gar video. Because this is starting to run a little bit long, I'm gonna take a second, and we're gonna go from looking like robot to looking like bike. Be back in a second. Alright, and like I said, we're back, and here is Wreck-Gar and Wreck-Gar in vehicle mode, and Junkheap is not in vehicle mode, but that was done deliberately to show you how how he fits on on the Wreck-Gar mold. And right now he's on the Reveal the Shield version of the mold, but again, and I don't know if you can see this or not, maybe you can, down here, those 2, actually maybe I can show it from the back easier. Here you go. Right here, this butt knob and his front pelvis knob fit into the 2 holes that are on the seat. So I mean, he's on there pretty secure. I mean, as secure as you'd want him to be, and he looks good. He looks good. I like him. And in terms of taking him off, you just pull him off and there you go. And you may say, hey, why isn't Junkheap in motorcycle mode? Because he kind of doesn't need to be. Here's the Reveal the Shield Wreck-Gar. Here's the Platinum Edition Wreck-Gar. And I'll say this, the Platinum Edition Junkheap is the exact same, except where the gold is here along the seat, it's yellow on him. Where you see the yellow up here around the front light, it's gold on him. It's just those 2 colors are reversed. Besides that, it's the same thing, same flame decos, same mold otherwise. And again, this one still rolls like a champ, and this one, of course, rolls like a champ. And if you look at them, I think the Platinum Edition slightly ekes out a win here as well, because I really like the gold and the yellow as compared to the peach. I don't know, peach flesh color. Again, it looks like Wreck-Gar. You're not going to mistake it, and I love it. But even something like the deco on top, instead of being black, it's actually painted, is nice. Should note that the tolerances on the Platinum Edition set are really tight. That's a good and a bad thing. It's nice that the mold hasn't really degraded over the years. He's kind of coming apart on me there. It's nice that the mold hasn't degraded over the years, but here is the issue. The yellow piece here on front. Well, the hinge was so tight up here during transformation that the yellow piece on front came off. And it's been super glued back on. Now, I mean, it holds, but the translucent orange piece in front here is pretty much destroyed inside. There isn't a translucent orange piece here. It's painted red. You do have a clear translucent piece up here, orange translucent piece up here. Otherwise, again, they look fairly similar. This one does indeed have the premium paint app with the metallic paint finish, and really a slicker. The seat on this guy's more matte, and the seat on this guy's more gloss. I gave Wreck-Gar a high score, an 8 or 9. You know what? He is still an 8 or 9. Junkheap is an 8 or 9. There's no doubt in my mind about it. They are, they are great figures. So if I take Reveal the Shield Wreck-Gar out, I'll just focus on these guys for a minute. Here is Wreck-Gar in bike mode. Here is Junkheap in bot mode. And here is Hot Rod in vehicle mode. And just for, comparison's sake, hey, here's Alpha Bravo again. If you look at Junkheap next to him, a Deluxe is Deluxe, they scale well. If it was vehicle mode, well, we all know what vehicle modes scale like. Alpha Bravo would be about the length of Hot Rod, about the length of this guy. So if you're okay with a helicopter being the same size as a car and a motorcycle, I guess you're set. Here's the bottom line. When we get down to the end, is the Platinum Edition set worth getting? I had a 6.5, I had an 8, and because I made an assumption with Junkheap, an 8. And that was the scores I gave the original figures. This time round, Hot Rod's a 7.5. This guy and this guy, they're still 8s or 9s. If you got the scratch, you can find your way to do it. Hey, it's a great set to get. There's no doubt about it. If you don't have the scratch and you got to resort to one of the older molds, they're still good molds to get. Hopefully, this has been a bit informative to you. The major difference, it's the paint apps. You're not looking at a difference in the molds. I can tell you this, the quality has stuck. There hasn't been mold degradation. They're still great, and the premium paint apps are premium. They look metallic. It's a nice finish to all of them. So I want to thank Costa for letting me do this review. This is his set, and I'll get it back to him really quickly. And by all means, you should also check him out on Instagram. And oh Lord, I need to see the note of his Instagram name. Check him out on Instagram at Kostedin, Kostedin. Check him out. A lot of good stuff. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank him for the opportunity to do this. Hopefully, it's been informative to you, and I'll talk to you next time, folks. Take care.